You may believe that time, space, and circumstance govern what shall be. But I tell you now, what becomes true in your life becomes true because you felt it real, not because you worked or struggled or pleaded with the heavens, but because in the stillness of your bed, you dared to imagine something wonderful and believed it was already so. The great secret is this: you become what you assume yourself to be. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. And what you are is nothing but the summation of your inner conversations and your felt assumptions. So today, before you sleep, when the conscious mind yields and the subconscious opens like fertile soil, I ask you, what will you plant? Take a desire, one clear, honest desire. See it not as something to come, but something that has already happened. Feel the gratitude, the relief, the joy that you would naturally feel if it were already yours. Clothe yourself in that state. And as you sink into sleep, do not let go of it. Let your final thought before the edge of slumber be, "It is done." Let it become your last emotional act of the day and your first movement of faith. This, my friends, is not mere repetition. It is the creative act. There is no power in the world greater than this. Imagination wedded with belief. It is through this sacred union that all things are born. Speak it, yes, but speak from the end, from the conclusion. Do not say, "I want." Say, "I am." Do not say, "I hope." Say, "It is so." And do not be deceived by the silence of the night. That which you impress upon your subconscious in sleep shall spring forth, clothed in facts, events, and people. The world will rise tomorrow, not as it is, but as you are within. Now some may say, "But how can I manifest something by tomorrow? Isn't that impossible?" To them I say, time is the servant of the assumption. You are not bound by linear days and hours. You are bound only by what you dare to accept as true. Your reality rushes to obey the law of your assumption. Today, you have a sacred opportunity. Lay your body down and with quiet determination, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. See it, feel it, rejoice in it, and know without a shadow of doubt that what you behold inwardly will crystallize outwardly. This is not mysticism. It is law. A divine, unfailing law that governs all creation. What you accept as true of yourself, especially in those drowsy twilight moments before sleep, becomes the cornerstone of your world. So I ask you again, what shall you believe today? There is a sacred door that opens each night, just as the world begins to dim and the body prepares to rest. And through that door, your most potent creative power is released. Not through effort, not through action, but through assumption and imagination. Most do not know this power exists. Others suspect it, but lack the boldness to test it. But I say to you with all the conviction of spiritual law, you can manifest something by tomorrow if you use this moment wisely. And this moment comes just before sleep. You do not need hours of meditation nor complex rituals to bring about change in your life. All that is needed is the understanding that your subconscious mind is the womb of creation, and it is never more open to suggestion, never more impressionable than in the last few moments of your waking day. The mind in this state is neither fully alert nor fully asleep. It floats gently between worlds, a twilight bridge between the visible and the invisible. This is the window where belief meets reality, where imagination takes root in the soil of being. It is in this soft, drowsy condition that your words carry divine authority. You must understand this. You are always speaking into existence, but at no time are your declarations more powerful than right before you fall asleep. The mistake many make is to use this time to rehearse fear, to review pain, to relive what went wrong. They do not realize they are handing those thoughts directly to the subconscious, and what is impressed there shall be expressed in the outer world. Your life does not reflect what you want. It reflects what you deeply accept, especially in the quiet of night. So what if today, before bed, instead of worry or lack, you boldly assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled? What if you lay down and rehearsed your success, your healing, your answered prayer, not as a dream, but as a fact? You would begin to engage the overnight manifestation method, known only to those who dare to believe. The truth is, you can manifest while sleeping. You can manifest fast, but only if you align your inner world to the outcome you desire, and do so with unwavering conviction. Let your bed become your altar. Let your last thought before sleep be your command to reality. Do not fall asleep hoping, do not fall asleep needing. Fall asleep knowing that what you have asked for has already been received. This is not delusion, it is law. It is the way the subconscious mind was designed to operate. When you feel it real, even if the senses deny it, your subconscious accepts it as done. It does not question the reality of an experience. It only accepts what is felt consistently and deeply. You must understand, the manifestation of your desire does not require time. It requires alignment. The moment you become one with your wish and feeling, you have entered the state where instant manifestation is possible. The world outside may take a moment to catch up, but it is already underway. Like a seed beneath the soil, it is hidden but alive, destined to sprout because it was planted in the proper condition. This condition, again, is best accessed before bed. That is why I say to you, just say this before bed: it is done. I have received it. I am now that which I desire to be. Let your words be few but full of conviction. Let your mood match the reality of your desire. And then sleep, not as one who waits, but as one who possesses. When you practice this night after night, the results become undeniable. You will awaken to a changed world, not because the world itself has changed, but because your state of consciousness has shifted, and the world merely reflects that shift. What you assume repeatedly becomes what you encounter naturally. Some call this speaking into existence. Others call it faith. But I say it is alignment with divine law. When you think from the end, not of it, you collapse time. You compress the distance between desire and fulfillment. The act of manifesting something by tomorrow becomes not a miracle, but an inevitable result of right use of mind. You see, there are no delays in the divine, only detours created by doubt. But if today, in that fragile, sacred hour before sleep, you speak boldly, feel richly, and rest deeply in the knowledge that it is already yours, you shall rise tomorrow to find that what you dared to believe has made itself known. So do not waste this gate, guard it, use it. Every night offers you a chance to rewrite your story, and that story begins not with the sun's rising, but with the image and feeling you fall asleep with. That is your true creation hour. That is where worlds are born. The great error of mankind is in believing that hoping for something is enough to bring it into being. But hope has no creative power. Hope waits, hope delays. Hope always places fulfillment somewhere in a distant tomorrow. But the law does not respond to hope. It responds to conviction. It answers to the one who dares to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled now, not later. Not when the evidence appears, but in the absence of it. To manifest something by tomorrow, you must abandon all allegiance to the senses and throw yourself wholly upon the unseen reality. You must live from the end, not toward it. To assume the feeling is to mentally and emotionally occupy the state of your desire fulfilled. It is to walk, talk, think, and feel as though you are already in possession of that which once existed only in your imagination. This is not a passive act. It is the boldest thing a human soul can do, to say I am when the world says you are not. But in this assumption lies the secret of every transformation. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you are conscious of being. And your consciousness is determined not by what you see, but by what you feel to be true. The subconscious mind does not judge. It does not analyze. It does not wait. It receives impressions and it builds realities from them. So when you persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the subconscious accepts it as fact. It does not know the difference between what is seen and what is felt, because it is the feeling that is the reality. This is why you must not beg, plead, or wish. You must declare and accept. You must walk into the scene of your desire and rest there again and again until it becomes more natural than the outer world. That is how you speak into existence the life you truly desire. It is not through willpower or effort, but through inward conviction that the world bends. There is a power that awakens when you do this. When you lie in bed at night and instead of replaying the failures of the day, you deliberately rehearse your fulfilled desire. That is your bedtime affirmation. That is the overnight manifestation method, not vain repetition, but emotional embodiment. Just say this before bed. Thank you. It is done. I am now the one I desired to be. And say it not as a hope, but as a truth that already lives within you. You will find that if you do this sincerely, you will manifest fast. Not because you forced the universe's hand, but because you aligned yourself with its order. Time bends before the one who feels the end. When you assume the state fully, when you clothe yourself in its tone, you begin to magnetize the people, events, and circumstances that mirror that inner state. And that is not coincidence. That is law. The world outside will always reflect the world inside. And when you feel differently, you see differently. So if you wish to change your outer experience, you must change the feeling within. Do not say I will be, say I am. This single shift collapses time, reverses conditions, and draws instant manifestation into your field. Understand this deeply. You are not creating a new reality, you are selecting one that already exists. Creation is finished. You are simply stepping into the version of self that already possesses your desire. And the way you step into it is through assumption, not mental wishing, but embodied certainty. This is how you manifest while sleeping, by lying down in your bed and refusing to take with you any thought or emotion that contradicts your goal. You must enter that dream world feeling the reality of your wish fulfilled and allow the subconscious to carry that feeling into the fertile ground of night. In this way, you plant the seed of your desire where it matters most, in the realm of cause. You will know when you have truly assumed the feeling because peace will replace striving. You will no longer seek confirmation because you will feel it as already done. You will walk differently, speak differently, think differently, and soon the world will rise to match that feeling. There are those who say, but I don't see it yet. And that is precisely the error. You do not wait to see, you feel, and then you see. Reality lags behind assumption. But if the assumption is kept alive long enough, reality must follow. It has no choice. It is your servant, not your master. So today, before you sleep, do not simply wish, do not plead, assume, act as if it is already done. Feel it real. Let your heart be filled with the tones of success, love, abundance, whatever it may be, and sleep, not as one in need, but as one who already possesses. All things begin and end within the mind of man. For he is not the reflection of the world, he is the projector of it. If you would change the world you behold, you must first change the imaginal activity within. And the most sacred moment to do this is the final moment of your day. The last thought before you sleep. You may think the events of your life arise from chance, from other people's actions, or from the whims of fate. But I say to you, they are born from one cause and one cause alone, your inner state. And the most powerful way to alter that state is to learn how to speak from the end. This is not a poetic phrase. It is the cornerstone of all true transformation. To speak from the end means that you do not talk about your desire as something to come. You speak of it as something that has already happened. You do not say, I will be, or I hope to be. You say, I am. You declare boldly and without doubt, it is done. This declaration, charged with feeling, is the golden key to manifest something by tomorrow. It is the feeling of the wish fulfilled that brings about the change, not mere repetition of words. When you say, it is done, with the authority of belief, you impress this upon the subconscious mind, and that subconscious, which never sleeps, goes to work through every avenue to make it true. But here is the secret few understand. Your final thoughts before sleep are the most fertile seeds you will ever plant. Why? Because as you drift into that twilight state between waking and dreaming, your conscious guard begins to lower, and the subconscious becomes open, sensitive, responsive. In that quiet moment, what you say and what you feel sink deeply into the creative depths of your being. This is why I say, just say this before bed. It is done. Not with strain, not with pleading, but with a quiet inner knowing. Let that be your final emotional note before the curtain of sleep falls. Let your body relax and let your mind dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled, fall asleep. Not in need, but in possession. If your desire is wealth, you do not speak as one who lacks, you speak as one who has received. You say, I am now financially free. My needs are met. I move with ease and power through life. If your desire is love, you do not beg the universe. You feel the arms of your lover already around you. You say, I am loved. I am desired. I am chosen. You do not declare this once, you saturate your being with it. Let this feeling be so alive, so vivid, that it feels more real than the bed beneath your body. This is the overnight manifestation method. It is not magic, it is law, and this law is impartial. It will mirror whatever you declare to be true, whether lovely or unlovely. So choose wisely. You may wonder how it can be so easy, but the truth is, it has always been this easy. The difficulty lies not in the law, but in man's unwillingness to believe that imagination creates reality. He waits for outer signs, outer facts, outer confirmations, but all creation begins inwardly. The world you see is only the echo of what you've said within yourself, day after day, night after night. So I say again, speak into existence the life you desire, and speak it not as a future goal, but as a present fact. Say it today. Say it silently. Say it with emotion. And then let that be your final word to the universe before you rest. This is not mere positive thinking. It is divine alignment with the creative structure of reality. When you make it is done your bedtime affirmation, you signal to the subconscious that the work is complete. And the subconscious, receiving the instruction, mobilizes everything in your world to align with that state. You will begin to manifest fast, not because you rushed anything, but because you removed resistance by dwelling in the end. It is not in the effort of the day, but in the stillness of the night that your world is shaped. You manifest while sleeping, because it is in sleep that your assumed reality is most purely impressed upon the inner self. What you carry into sleep, you awaken to inform. So do not waste another night rehearsing worry or lack, or defeat. These states too are seeds, and they shall bear fruit if sown in the fertile ground of slumber. Instead, become bold. Become certain. Declare the end. Let your inner voice rise with the tone of completion. And know this, if you persist, the outer world must yield. For when a man speaks from the end and persists in that tone, reality becomes obedient to the voice within. It fluidly includes SEO-optimized keywords such as manifest something by tomorrow. Assume the feeling, speak into existence, subconscious mind, overnight manifestation method. Manifest fast, bedtime affirmation, manifest while sleeping, instant manifestation, and others blended seamlessly into the rhythm of the lecture. Time has deceived the world. It has convinced man that he must wait for what is already his, that what he seeks lies somewhere ahead of him, distant and uncertain. But the truth is far simpler and far more profound. Manifestation obeys belief, not time. The hour on the clock does not bring about change. The shift in consciousness does. If you believe that what you want must take weeks or months to arrive, then the law will reflect that delay. Not because the delay is necessary, but because you have believed it is so. The subconscious mind, being perfectly obedient, takes the tones of your belief and paints them into the canvas of your life. And it does so without judgment, without question, without pause. This is one can manifest something by tomorrow. Not because tomorrow is magical, but because tomorrow is nothing more than the outer shadow of your present assumption. It reflects you, mirrors you, responds to you. The moment you change your inner state, the world begins its silent reorganization. Time is not cause. Time is effect. Time is the echo of belief. You may say, but I've waited so long for my desire. And I would say, you have not waited, you have wandered. You have moved in and out of states, hoping one moment and doubting the next. But the moment you dwell in the end with full conviction, time collapses. What seemed far is suddenly near. What seemed impossible becomes natural. What was delayed becomes immediate. You are not waiting for reality. Reality is waiting for you. It waits for you to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It waits for you to settle into the tone of certainty. It waits for you to speak with calm boldness. It is done. And when you do, not as a performance, but as an inward acceptance, then the wheels begin to turn. Quietly, invisibly, but surely. The world will not always show signs at once. But signs are not your concern. Your concern is the state of consciousness you inhabit. Do you walk in the feeling of possession or the feeling of lack? Are you praying to become or resting in what already is? It is not the action that changes things, it is the belief behind the action. Belief that it is already yours. Belief that the seen will rearrange to match the unseen. This is the overnight manifestation method. Not a race against time, but a return to truth. So before you sleep today, do not ask for tomorrow to fix what you have not yet dared to assume. Instead, make tomorrow bend to the reality you accept now. Just say this before bed. It is done. I am now the person I once hoped to become. And feel that to be true, not once, not halfway, but deeply and wholly. Let your bedtime affirmation be a declaration, not a request. Let it carry the authority of one who knows the law, and then rest. The assurance that manifestation obeys belief, and that belief has no dependence on time. When you rise tomorrow, you may not yet see the full harvest, but something will have changed. A tone in the air, a shift in the energy around you, a gentle confirmation that something has taken root in the unseen. And if you persist in that state, regardless of appearance, then the manifestation must come. You must understand that time, as man knows it, is an illusion of sequence. But creation is finished. All that ever was or will be already exists in a higher dimension, waiting to be called forth by assumption. So when you believe you must wait, you push your desire into that dimension. And when you believe it is now, you draw it from that dimension into form. This is how one may manifest fast, not by rushing but by believing fully. And yes, one can manifest while sleeping, because sleep is not an escape, it is a doorway, a sacred passage into the inner world, where the real work is done. There is no power in time itself. Time bends before the one who lives from the end. If you say tomorrow I shall have it, and feel that tomorrow is merely the physical reflection of what you already possess spiritually, then tomorrow will obey. But if you say, I hope tomorrow brings it, you confess that you do not yet believe. And belief is the only substance that creates. The universe is not on a schedule. It is on a frequency, and the frequency of wish fulfilled is always available. You need not climb a ladder or wait for the stars to align. You need only tune in, speak into existence the thing you desire, and do so as though it were already accomplished. And then tomorrow shall reflect what you accepted today. So see not tomorrow as a wall between you and your desire. See it as the mirror that will reveal your assumption. And if you assume rightly, it must reflect rightly. For manifestation has never belonged to time. It has always belonged to belief.